Hello, I just want to go over my Enhancement 7 assignment. So the first objective is to make sure it's valid HTML. So check it here, the HTML is valid along with the CSS. Test that. Oh, let's go back. CSS is valid. So for the case statements for objective 2, if you check my accounts controller, there are new case statements. The first one is update information case that starts the client update process, the update password that updates the password, and the update case that posts up the client update page. I'm gonna show how that works later on. But as for the client update page, so once the link is clicked for update account information, the page goes up using an action case key value pair. The action is update, pulls up the case update. Objective 3, client update processes uses an MVC solution. So the functions for the client and password updates are all on the accounts model. You see it here, update client, update password. They are called upon using the accounts controller. So once the update information case is called, part of that is using calling the update client function, since the controller is connected to the accounts model. The same thing with the update password. On this case, you see that the update password function is called in the accounts model. The views are all in the view folder. So take client. So hit here in view. So the view doesn't contain any functions for updating the account information or password. Okay, so for testing all of the functions, so let's start with the account information update. So if you update the name is updated. If you update the password, the super user, the password is updated along with the message, and log in, and the new password works. So for the client and server side validation, so it's the usual for the client side. Since the fields are required, it won't allow you to submit the form with missing information. As well as on the email, there's an extra check to make sure that it's on an email format. If you try to submit it, it will not allow you. There's also server-side validation for the email format. Okay, there was a hiccup with the server-side validation for the email there, but we got it fixed. So if you see, if it doesn't meet the email format, it won't update on the client-side validation. But in case it did go through, it will not it will get caught up in the server-side validation using the client email, the check email function. So I also added server-side validation to check for existing emails. So as you see, this is the email for the admin. So if I try to update it, it says the email already exists, and all of the uh, inputs are sticky, if you notice. So they stick. Okay. That is updated. For the password, it's the same deal. It has client-side validation. So since it doesn't meet the formatting, don't allow it to update. That is also available for the client-side validation, or server-side validation, I mean. So it doesn't allow that format. Super user, it should work. So I'm gonna try it. And the new password worked. For the other function to pull up client information using the client ID, I use the get info function in the accounts model. I call that function whenever I log in. So when you log in, so I use the client client ID on the session, and then use that client ID to get client information. This calls a get info function I showed earlier in the accounts model and returns the client info array, which is part of the session. I use that on the password and in the account information updates. Uh, if you see, they are part of the submit. They are part of the hidden functions here for update information and update password. And if you check the accounts model, I use the client ID as a key for both updating the client information and the updating and the update password. I figured since the client email is something that can be changed, it's better to have the client ID as a key, which is unique and which is something that cannot be changed. I had to make some changes with the client ID structure so that it will auto increment the client ID whenever you register a new user, and that yep, pretty much the changes I made in client ID. So that's pretty much it. I believe I've covered all of the objectives. Okay. So for the admin view, let's just go back to it. As you see, the level is no longer here. Since this is a level 1, it doesn't have the vehicle update. But if you go to the admin, it has the vehicle update link, has the comments to guide the end user on which things to use. So that's it for my video. Thank you. Have a great day.